How you doing, Ethan?
Good.
They had 16 plays of 10 or more yards, and they counted for 300 of their yards. In the other 65 plays, they averaged 3.4 yards a play. How much better are you guys actually defensively now than you were, especially if you take away some of those big plays?
I think overall, as a defense, we played well, played outstanding. Just a couple of mistakes that we had. I mean, we fixed that. But so overall, guys played very well against them.
A month ago, it was a lot of things that need to be fixed. Are you saying that you feel like you're at the point now where if you fix just a few things, especially with the way the offense can play, you guys are going to be in better position to win games?
We just come out ready to play. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You know, every week we get better, and I felt like against Notre Dame we got extremely better. I say one or two mistakes, but that was really it. You know, some penalties cost us, but overall as a defense, we practiced very well and prepared very well. So.
Well, Ethan, how do you go about tackling on this Georgia Tech offense, this triple option offense that you don't see it all the time, and you can't really practice against it, but you know it's coming?
It's always been, the 4 years I've been here, it's always been a tough thing for us, but the past couple of years I think we defended well. We'll go in this week practice, knowing what we have to do. Knowing our defensive line has certain things that they have to do, such as the linebackers and the DBs.
Would you say that in the last 3 or 4 weeks that engagement and gap responsibility have been where you guys have sort of improved the most, and that's a good thing given what you're going to be up against this week?
Of course. I mean, everybody has a job to do. You know, the D-line, we have a job to do. I have a job to do. The linebackers, they have jobs to do. Everybody has a job to do. And I think overall, you know, if our guys do our job, then we should be fine.
Do you feel like this game, you know, despite the loss, is like the Miami game last year, that it could be the turning point in the season for you guys?
You know, I actually do. I actually think it is. You know, it was a heartbreaking loss for us on Saturday, and you know, it still sticks in our minds today. But I mean, we got to move on, and we know the team that we can be and improve on Saturday.
As a unit, when you guys are off the field and the offense is on the field, I know you don't get a lot of opportunity to see what they're doing. But did you get much of an opportunity to kind of take in what Marquise was doing for you guys the other day? Because he kind of put the offense on his shoulders and did a little bit of everything.
I mean, that's just Marquise. I mean, he's a great guy, great leader. Our offense did extremely well. I mean, we were all hyped up. I mean, watching the game, we were into it. You know, Marquise just stepped up for us.
Have you sensed a little bit of a change in him in the last, you know, really since the season started, more of a leadership, maybe even more of a mature stepping out in front of the team kind of position that he's taken on?
He's been that way all season. I mean, he's more so, he was quiet at first, but now he's out there now. He's doing extremely well now. He's leading the offensive line and he's leading the offense.
I don't know if you got a chance to watch the Duke game yet and see what they did well against them, but how do you go? What is the key to putting clamps on a triple option offense? Where does it start?
It start with us up front, and it starts with us as a defense. Going in and watching a lot of film, we knowing it's a triple option team. And we're going to have to defend them very well. I mean, that starts with practice on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday.
How different is practice week for Georgia Tech as opposed to, you know, every other team in the league, every other team that you'll essentially play this year?
Like I said, again, just more so doing your job. I mean, all of us have jobs that we have to do, but more so with Georgia Tech this week. I mean, we're going to be working on cutting drills and how they run the option and stuff, but everybody has to do their job.
Did you guys spend any time on them in preseason? Just a little bit of introduction, so when you get to this week, especially with no bye week, you guys were a little bit more up to snuff?
I mean, we work on cutting drills. I mean, that's any other team, but we're really working on cutting drills beginning of the season. But now it's here, and we already started watching film on them, so I think we'll be ready. Anything
specific about Georgia Tech, maybe in fall camp, that you guys spent some time on, or?
Not necessarily. I mean, like I said again, it was just cutting drills. Everybody had to do cutting drills, and we're going to be prepared for it.
How do you practice that when you guys don't actually do it yourselves?
It just starts in individual. I mean, we have our individual periods, and I mean, it's just like a little orange ball, and they roll it out, and we're just working on the cutting drills.
How do you like that? You mentioned that, you know, the cutting drills and everything. How did, you know, as a fan that's out there listening, what does a player like a defensive lineman go through when they're cutting at you below the knees there?
I mean, it's always dangerous, but I mean, you know, it's a sport. You got to play it, and you know that's what you practice, and you practice to do well in the game. So I mean, it's going to be tough, but, you know, as a defensive lineman, that's just our job.
Is gap responsibility in your area more important against this kind of offense than any other offense, or is it just the same? It's just how you go about it's a little bit different because of what they're bringing you.
It's extremely important. I mean, it's so important. I mean, you got to be in your gap. You got to know what's going on. You don't know where the ball's going to end up at because their offense is so tricky. You don't really know. Only thing you have to do, you know, as a defensive lineman, you know, you have to make sure that you're in your gap and make sure you're doing your responsibility and such as other guys on the field.
This is the kind of game where you could play a great game and never make a tackle, right?
Something like that. It's going to be tough. Like I said, you don't really know where the ball's going to go, and the ball can go inside or the ball can go outside. You know, you don't know if the quarterback's going to keep it. It's just one of those games where you have to make sure that you're in your gap and you're doing your responsibility.
All right. Thank you, guys.
Thanks a lot, Ethan.